Welcome to our Meet the Manager series with Manish Khatta from Potomac. I'm Elizabeth, here with Jeff from Nova Wealth. On this episode of Meet the Managers, we're going to go behind the scenes with Manish, give you insight as to what he thinks about the markets, and also retirement asset allocation by phase of retirement and stage of the market. If this is your first time with us at Nova Wealth, we've helped thousands of people, advising over $175 million on how to plan for and navigate retirement.
So I think the biggest mistake is advisors will combine these different strategies, funds, ETFs into one portfolio, but they all act and behave the same way. So it's fine and dandy when the market is rallying and they all act the same way, but it's not so great when the market's declining and they all act the same way. So the important part is being able to use uncorrelated assets, investments together in a portfolio that can act differently during different market cycles.
So Manish, we talked about a lot on the tactical side and kind of the founding principles of Potomac. Is there anything that we haven't tapped into that makes your firm unique?
One of the things we pride ourselves on is transparency, and being able to sit up here and say, we do this and we protect, and not really go through how we go about doing that. So we put a lot of content out on our public blog about how we manage money, how we build these composite systems, these indicators, because we want to take something that most consider a black box and try to open it up as much as we can. I think it brings advisors and their clients a comfort level knowing that there is a system behind it. There are actual metrics and indicators, not just a couple people, throwing things against the wall hoping they stick. And that's important, especially when you are going to run an uncorrelated strategy that spends some time in cash and money market. Clients need to have some comfort level that these people have done it before. There's a track record, and I think that transparency really helps all of our advisors and their clients feel that comfort.
Yeah, one thing that we hear from people, right? It's interesting when we're using tactical models because it makes a big difference of when they buy you, because it might be a time where, hey, the market's going down or market's going up and you're out of the market and you're zigging when you should have zagged. So it's interesting, right? I would assume with advisors as well, of like, you got to just stick through those first 12 months with using tactical management. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that? Because that can get a little hairy in the beginning of the relationship.
I tell people all the time, if I can get reincarnated as something, it would be a buy and hold portfolio manager, because at any given time, no matter what happens, you just blame the market. The market goes up, you're invested. The market goes down. Ooh, sorry, Mr. Client, the market. We don't have that luxury. So you have to, there's always going to be dislocations when you use an investment like us. And when I say dislocations, to your point, you can have a starting period and we're in cash and the market rips in your face and you look like a fool. Vice versa, you can protect from a decline and look like a hero. So your starting position matters really for any investment, but more so with us if your experience alters in those first couple months. I typically tell people, if you can give us that 12-month time frame, you'll love it and usually be a client for a long time. But it's hard to get to that because there's a lot of dislocations that people just don't understand. It takes some time to understand and educate yourself on how we manage money.
And I think, like, going back to something you said before, it's putting you with somebody that's not 100% correlated to that, and then that is kind of blunted a little bit, where it's not just, hey, I just own company X, and then the market rips in your face and you were in cash. So I think that kind of comes full circle with that of like pairing this with something that's low correlated.
Well, expectational investing matters. You have to be able to sit down with your client and explain them what the expectations of this portfolio are. And sometimes advisors skip over that whole part and like, oh, here's a fact sheet, invest in this. Well, that does that does everyone involved a disservice, because you're not giving them the information to understand how is this going to react to certain markets, how it's going to react to certain market environments. And so setting those expectations with your clients and with our clients is a huge part of this process.
Yeah, I think our biggest thing when we sit down with people is we want to show them probably the same thing that you're talking about, which is that transparency. Like, hey, when things are going really well, this is what your expectation can be, because this is what's happened. When things don't go well and there are bad trades, and point those out, right? Of like, this isn't just a straight line extrapolation that you're always going to go up. And setting that expectation for people, especially when they're taking out money and it's not something they've never really dealt with, I think is really important.
It's a part of life. I wish people would never call me and ask me any questions about anything we do, right? That's unrealistic. People are going to ask, hey, what's going on? Why are you in? Why are you out? That's a part of life. It's up to us to educate people on the expectations of what this style of investing will deliver. And I think the advisors that succeed here are the ones that can really explain that to their client.
That was Manish Khatta from Potomac. If you're interested in discussing your retirement plan in greater detail, you can schedule a call with one of our advisors using the links provided. You can also find website links for our asset managers and a history of our quarterly market reviews in the details section below. And as always, go Bills.